Top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world.
Let the church say amen. Kelly, you got even darker. Why'd you get to the darker background?
On purpose.
And then you put on a black shirt? Like, what you do a magic trick in between the intro and now? What just happened? Okay. Well, anybody who's not watching on YouTube, Kelly just magically
she's taking a hit to her self-esteem today. That's what it is.
It's either this or no camera at all. So,
gotcha. But I'm saying I think the last one was fine, but it's okay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the Worst Ones podcast. We are the preacher's kids, constantly making our fathers who are preachers proud. My name is Rudy Wilson. Got Terry Wayne smoking the cig. Got Kelly Lee stressing in the dark. I'm on the back porch at my homeboy house because I'm a loser.
And by the way, making our fathers proud is in quotation marks.
Well, right. I mean, for one, I'm not in my best friend's ride because I got my own ride. Okay. But I am at his house.
that might be worse. I think homeless is worse than carless.
But we don't share the same toilet seat, so that's good. You know, we can shit on different hot toilet seats. And that's all that's important.
I'm just saying on the scrub level, right? I think homeless is way higher than carless.
Well, I'm not homeless because I could have a home of my own, but I would just probably did not have a car.
You're just homeless by choice. That's all that is. Which is funny because I think all homeless people are homeless by choice.
I have to make a choice which one is, more beneficial.
Burger King's hiring, man.
For one, a lot of people are hiring right now. Like I've noticed that. Like everywhere I go,
tons.
I mean, gas station, any fast food, any restaurant, just hiring. Managers, everything. Like we need people.
Yeah, they're begging.
Yeah.
So look,
so many people got used to that unemployment.
You said I can have what?
A home and a car.
A home and a car. No, one thing, because I do use my car to make money, whether that's traveling to do something or even just.
I thought you were about to say I do use my car as a home, and I was like, oh my God, Rudy, you live in your car?
I wouldn't be here if that was the case. You would have seen my back seat in my background. But no. I do have a home and a car. I just don't own the home that I stay in, but I do own the car. Well, I'm paying to own it. Kia still owns it technically, and that's the company, not a black girl. Anyway, anywho, how are you guys doing? Kelly Lee, what's going on? You don't have to tell us about today if you don't want to, because obviously today was rough from what you told us, but. The past 6 days prior to today, how have you been?
So I may have said this last week. I can't remember, but I'm trying to have a better work-life balance.
Okay.
And I've been doing really great with the life, not so great with the work. But it's been great because I've been out in these streets having a good time, vaccinated and masked up.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Well, you're in Atlanta, so COVID doesn't exist there. I don't know if you knew that or not.
So I didn't. So I didn't realize until about 4 weeks ago when I was vaccinated. 6 weeks ago when I got vaccinated.
Gotcha.
Now I'm out there with the people in the streets.
Yeah.
Having a good time, but I wear a mask. So there's so many places that I've been. I hear my echo. I'll get my headphones. But there's so many places that I've been that I am the only person in the building with a mask on. The only person with a mask on.
You can be a minority even in a room full of blacks. Yeah, that's Atlanta for you. It doesn't exist there. It never has.
It did. Maybe for about a month. I think for a month we all panicked. There was no toilet tissue, no Clorox, no light.
Right. That's because they were listening to the hype, but then somebody went outside. It was like, Hey, yo, I've been out here for a minute. I can still taste, guys. Like
Yeah. But like April, yeah, we were over it. We were over it here.
I
I didn't catch on until April 2021.
Right.
It's been out since April 2020.
Right.
But it's been a good time.
Gotcha.
Well, that's why I said that COVID needed to be stronger, right? Because everybody's like, oh, I can still taste, I can still smell. Well, if one of the symptoms was like bleeding from your eyes or something, everybody would have taken it way more seriously.
But what if you could be asymptomatic and not bleed from your eyes? Because I know a lot of people, like I got a cousin who's been out in Atlanta this whole time. Like he literally is a host at a very popular club. He is all in the crowd, and he ain't caught COVID yet.
And that's what happened. Like for real, that's what happened.
Like, and he's been tested.
The first time I stepped my big toe out, and 2 weeks later I was fine. I was like, oh, you don't see what the rest of me later is doing.
Every member of my family has gotten it, other than me.
I know people who've gotten it, but I'm just saying, I'm talking about the Atlanta crew is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about in the world. I'm talking about Atlanta specifically.
I got people in Atlanta.
Hey, it don't exist there. They must have been in Georgia on the outskirts when they caught it, and then drove back into Atlanta.
No, they just took it seriously. That's all you had to do. Me and my family all went to the same places. The only difference was I took it seriously and they didn't.
No, but I'm saying the people who I'm talking about
don't work, and
the people who I'm talking about don't take it seriously, and they didn't catch it. That's my point in Atlanta. Now I know
that was the issue.
Now I know people who didn't take it seriously in other places and caught it immediately. but Atlanta, I've been very curious of how they've been getting away with it this whole time.
I'm gonna look up the stats because I believe you might be wrong.
I'm not going. You're going off of CNN. I'm going off of people I know personally.
No, I'm going off CDC because you know what's funny? Do you know where the CDC is located?
In Atlanta.
That's right.
But I'm saying, what does that have to do with people who I know who lived there or visited there multiple times during the pandemic? I'm talking about I see them, no mask, no shirt, hell, and they in the club sharing blunts, sharing bottles, everything, and they come back. That's what I'm saying. This is a bunch of asymptomatic ass people.
It's dumb luck,
or Atlanta don't have COVID, man.
Well, 30% of all cases are asymptomatic. So either they missed it or it's just dumb luck.
Hey, they luck must be completely uneducated.
Maybe Hennessy cures Corona. Maybe that's
what I hear. Vodka does too.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
I don't know. I'm not a drinker. I just take my vitamin.
I was gonna say maybe weed is the answer.
Vitamin M.
Not vitamin M.
No,
I can't.
Terry, but how have you been though, sir?
Me, I'm doing great. I'm just busy as hell.
Gotcha.
Busy.
Gotcha. All right, man. Well, that's the life you asked for, man.
Yeah, I chose this. That's the sad part.
People can be as busy or as unbusy as they want to be. You could be a lazy piece of shit, or you could take over the world.
Yeah, but I want to be lazy.
I know.
Well, and take over the world.
Yeah.
I want to do everything and nothing all at the same time.
I know.
If we could all do that,
first world,
everybody would have the world. Everybody would be in control of the world if we could all do that.
How can I do everything and nothing?
Why couldn't God have just done that? Give everybody their own planet to run. Have just like some minions, right? And I mean minions from the Despicable Me movies, right? Like just little minions running around. That's it. We all get our own planet. There's infinite planets. Why couldn't we have one?
I don't know. I feel like I'd be pretty bored, and that's maybe looking hindsight, but
not if you got your minions.
I'm not really that impressed with minions. Like I've seen Despicable Me, they're cute for 2 hours, but I don't want to do that for a lifetime, right?
Yeah. No, you get some girl minions, you get to work, you know what I mean.
So you want to smash a little person is what you're telling me.
I think that if I was on a planet with nothing but midgets or minions, why'd you have to say little person? That just threw it.
Because that's what it is. That's what the name. That's what you call.
No, it's they're little and they're yellow, and some of them only have one eye. Stop making this real.
No. What I was talking about was a real person. I had shifted from the minions to an actual little person.
Oh,
well, yeah.
Whatever.
Okay. Anyways, my week has been fantastic.
Good.
I
What
don't.
has been fantastic about your week?
He only asked us so that he could get to his. So let's clear the floor.
Oh, I don't have anything, honestly. I was just getting mine out of the way so we can move on to the topic. Honestly, I can't even tell you what I did the last 2 days, like verbatim. Honestly,
I think that might have to do with your vitamin M.
it doesn't. It doesn't actually. The vitamin M actually helps me to know where I'm at any given time.
Sure.
I'm serious, man. My mind is a. I wish y'all could put like a GoPro, like little spy cam inside my brain.
I don't.
Man, I don't even sleep a full 3 hours at a time at nighttime because my mind I just wake up thinking about shit.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's safe. Anyway.
No, thank you.
It's not really good for you. No, it's not.
I'm saying I can't help it. It's not like I'm doing it on purpose. It just happens.
Maybe take some serotonin or something. You know.
I don't even know what that is. Anyways, so Terry Wayne,
Yes, sir.
You brought up a interesting subject matter that I think we should discuss.
Well, we were
today.
trying to choose a topic at the last minute, so I'm shooting from the hip here.
Well, you must have a really fine hip, sir, because it was a great shot, and
I shot my shot.
you shot. So go for it. Let us know what we're talking about.
Okay. Well, just as someone that was born into a pastor's family, how do you teach your kids as they grow up about religion without indoctrinating them or brainwashing them? Because as we've seen through history, it's usually not a good idea because they get to be 17, 18 years old. They start questioning the dogma. And the next thing you know, they want nothing to do with the church. So how do you overcome that?
Kelly, you want to start or you?
So I'll make a long story short. I'm brainwashing my kids. Not even brainwashing, but
Indoctrinating.
yes, them into
Those are
Christianity.
synonyms, by the way. Just to let you know.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Into Christianity. And then I don't have an issue when they get older. I still hear my echo. Can y'all hear my echo?
Yes, but push through.
Oh, I don't hear it, but it's
Okay. I don't have an issue when they get older for them to question it. They should. They should be able to find God and Christ and Jesus on their own and find their own personal relationship and not what they've been taught. But as far as me and my house,
we will serve the Lord.
I was gonna say you gotta finish that.
We gonna serve the Lord in my house.
Right. And then they can make a decision as they get older. But the Bible says, train a child in the way that he should go, and he shall not depart. And so my hope and my prayer is that they will continue with Christianity through adulthood. But I also don't mind them questioning. I also don't mind them coming to me with questions. But no, we.
So Kelly, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
With your shoving of Christianity down your children,
such an aggressive word.
No,
Such an aggressive word.
But with your teaching of Christianity to your children, how much of it will reflect your actual upbringing, and how much of it will reflect what you've now just say learned as an adult?
Oh, that's an excellent question. I think that there should be a good balance because there's things that I, as an adult, push against of what I was taught growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that I would have a balance. I think 70-75% of it would probably be straight church, kind of how I grew up,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other 25-30% would be my own spiritual beliefs, as I've gotten older.
Gotcha.
But I think for me, my strong foundation in Christianity in church helped me to be the good girl that I am today. And I hope that my son and daughter, I wouldn't mind if my son and daughter, that's a stretch. They can be better than me. That's a stretch. But I think 70% of it, I want it to be that strict church. This is what it is. And then, like I said, that 30% of it, I may give them some of the real.
Now, when you say strict church, last question for you, Kelly. When you say strict church, are you talking about in the sense of strict, meaning like as a child, they can't choose any other religion, strict, or strict in the sense of like strict rules, like y'all ain't going to parties or whatever type of strict. You know what I'm saying?
So I think that was, so speaking of being a preacher's kid, so I think that was one of the benefits of having a balance in my household. So if it was up to my father, I probably wouldn't have gone to my parties. And I really wasn't a party person in high school in general. But my mom was like, go, like, you know, or whatever. And so I appreciated that balance.
Right.
And so I would probably give my children that flexibility as well at a certain age, at a certain time, at a certain point. But as far as the don't have sex until you get married, we've had this conversation, but refrain from drugs and alcohol, those things, I'm definitely going to be.
Certain age, or you mean in general?
So we're talking about children. So
I'm talking about, but I'm saying when you're teaching them, like, because a child, we could say from 17 on down. So even if this is a teenager conversation, when it comes down to sex before marriage, drugs and alcohol. And when I say drug, let's just say weed and alcohol, because hopefully they're not doing meth or something like that. Are you teaching them, like, refrain from that, like I said, to a certain age, like once you're 21, that, you know what I'm saying, you grown, do what you do? Or are you saying, like, hey, even when you're grown, I can't control you, but you need to still not?
Yeah. So I think that I would prefer my child not to be the drunken, passed out, male or female in the streets in Miami at spring break at 18.
But would you want them to be that at 25 is what I'm saying?
Or 25, no.
So, but okay, so then to further my question, don't you think experiences like that make a person?
But I want, so hear me. So I would want them not to be that person. But I understand life and reality. Right. You know, that 9 times out of 10, they're going to drink, they're going to experiment with drugs, they're going to experiment with sex. And so I also want to have that space in my house that my child feels comfortable coming to me or my husband to talk about it. Right. That they don't feel like that I'm so deep in the church that when I come to them, you're going to hell and the devil done got you and, whatever. Right. Like, I don't want that either. So I want that balance, but I also want that foundation, like, hey, if you can refrain from this, that would be great. But if you want to experience it, hey, let's talk about how to do that in safe ways.
And you would say that reflects, just say, your upbringing, or was that different? Would that be a different approach?
That would reflect my upbringing
from your mom.
Yes.
Right. Not from your dad. Right.
Right. My dad would probably want me to refrain from everything forever. Like I said, I was 26, 27, the first time I brought a bottle of alcohol home, like a wine bottle, doing like a special occasion. And like, he was just like, where did you get this from? How did you get this? And I'm like, I'm 26, 27 years old.
How did you get this?
I went and purchased it.
How did you get this? No, Kevin, not how did you get this?
How did I went and purchased it from the
store? They sell this, Daddy. They sell these. This is not. Illegal.
And he was just so shocked, like, oh, my baby girl. Like I said, and I was 26, someone on there at the time, like, she just brought alcohol into that, like, oh my God, and so, like I said, so I think I had a good balance, and so that I hope that I am a good balance for my kids.
So what if your husband is the loose parent, just to say, like, the looser parent? Would you then feel like you would have to be the strict enforcer, or would you still be able to still have your saying?
I would still want a balance, because I would still want my children to come to me. If my husband is the loose parent, then I need them not to go to him about everything, because then he gonna say, go do it. And what? No, I need you to still feel comfortable to come to me, so we can have that other half of the conversation as well.
Right. I guess what I'm asking even more specifically is, do you want what your parents had, in the sense of 1-and-1, or would you prefer both of y'all to just have the balance?
Of course, I would prefer both of us to have the balance. I would prefer for him not to be super strict or super loose, as you say. Like, I would prefer for both of us to have the balance and be on the same page. But I know that that's rare, and that's and that's difficult. So I want to make sure that I have the balance so that my child can have an open line of communication to me. But like I said, to answer the question, for me in my house,
We gonna say, Lord. Gotcha. Terry Wayne, what you got, man?
Well, I was thinking like you can have the main thing I remember growing up was I always had to do everything. I had to go to church all the time. I had to do this. And sometimes I just didn't feel like it.
Right.
That's how you build resentment.
Right.
So for anything, when they say when you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. Well,
right.
That's not true because everything can get tiring depending on how much you do it. So like if I would have woken up one Sunday morning and my parents came and I said, I don't want to go to church today. And they just went, okay, you don't have to go. And then they just went without me. That probably would have served a lot better down the long run for them. Because then I would have felt left out. And then I would have been like, I guess it would have been fun down there. Especially if something good happened. If they really wanted to be smart, they would go and take my sister and go down to church. And then they'd come back later that day. But they had gone to lunch after church to a place I liked or something like that. And then I would have been like, oh, I missed it. Like you kind of have to manipulate kids a little bit to get them to think the way you want to think. It's really the only way that works.
Terry, I think that's just you.
No, I don't think so.
I think that's something
like
that you really like as a kid. Like you would have to been let, because for me,
well,
like
think about what I'm saying first. Think about what I'm saying. If I'm 8 years old and I don't feel like going to church that morning, right?
Right.
And so my mom just goes, okay, if you don't want to go, you don't want to go, but it's going to be fun. And then she just left and I sat at home watching TV all day. And then they came back with my sister later that day and said, and then my sister was like, oh, we had such a good time. We went to this place. We went to that place. We did this at church and all that. You're telling me I wouldn't feel like that fear of missing out?
Well, what I'm saying, but what if you would have went and then it still sucked? Then
well,
what
it's church. It's gonna be boring for children a lot of the time.
So what I'm saying is, so then do you get to then get left at home again, or are you stuck going not once you
No, the next week I would be like, I definitely want to go because I don't want to miss out on, whatever.
No. What I'm saying is, once that next week comes and then you go and then it sucks, what happens that following week?
That's what I'm saying. In my subconscious, it tells me I should come every week because I don't want to miss the good ones,
He doesn't want to miss lunch.
Yeah, or whatever it may have been.
Gotcha. So let me ask you this. With I guess the reason why I even mentioned the whole saying like that's just you, and not that you're the only person who could be like that, but I'm just saying definitely between me and you that I definitely was the opposite, because for me, and I say the opposite in the sense of I just think we had an opposite, maybe even upbringing in church. Because the first question I was going to even ask you was your only introduction, just say, to Christianity always coming from going to church, like, as opposed to where they're like in-house conversations? But then number two, I guess it's more of a statement than a question for you. One of the episodes, the last episode that you missed, you wasn't here. We kind of talked about like our favorite things, like in church or whatever. And one of the things we kind of harped on was we grew up in churches that had really strong youth ministries. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and I mean strong in the sense of like, we played basketball, like in real leagues. People did step team, they did a lot of stuff, acting. You know what I'm saying? Dance, whatever. Like, so like it was. So we had like fun days. You know what I'm saying? Like it,
right.
We went on trips. So like for us, going to church didn't necessarily, like, going to extra services like night service, somebody else church later that evening after service, like that sucked.
Right.
But me just having to go to that one service with the way our youth ministry was, like I was cool with that because majority of my friends was at church. You know what I'm saying? So like when we went to church, we sat with our friends. It didn't even like my mom, like we was in proximity of her. You know what I'm saying? Right. But we still sat like with our friends. So like for me, I wasn't necessarily like dreading it because I more or less dreaded school than I would have ever did church because of the youth ministry. Now if you'd have took that just regular church and took that youth ministry out of it, it probably would have been just as bad. You feel what I'm saying? But we had something there to go to.
No, we did too.
But
we had
but
a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
So, but this goes back to my question for you. So, but outside of me going to church and having fun, going back to the question of how should the parents introduce you to Christ?
Right.
For me, like I said, I was in church from.
I said religion. I didn't say.
Well, I'm just saying either way, but religion for me would be Christianity. I was only introduced to one, so I'm saying for me, like
there's a difference between belief and religion. That's what I'm saying. Religion is going to the church. Belief is praying to God.
Right, but I didn't use either of those words. I just used Christianity. Is all okay.
It's a very shallow well here.
Okay. Are you finished? Like my mom, like we never, not even to harp on the Christmas thing, but we never like got introduced to Christmas other than this is Jesus' birthday. Whether we got gifts or not, we got gifts. We're like, hey, y'all, enjoy your Christmas, but y'all gonna also bake this cake for Jesus. And we gonna sing. I'm serious. I'm talking about
bake the cake now. I
to this day. I'm 31 years old. To this day, Lardnell Scott, former Wilson, maiden name original Fuller. And listen, we'll bake a cake to this day.
I kind of
we write "Happy Birthday, Jesus" on it. So what I'm saying,
we gotta do that this Christmas. I gotta get
and we sing.
We didn't bake a cake, but
we do sing "Happy Birthday to Jesus."
I knew a bunch of people who, they'd wake up in the morning and they'd see gifts from mom and dad, then they'd see gifts from Santa, and then they'd see at least one gift from Jesus. Yeah. Yep.
From Jesus.
They ain't write no from. They just wrote your name, Rudy, Risa.
No, they would write.
Y'all know who this came from. This came from Jesus blessing us with these good jobs to get y'all these good gifts. It went. You think I'm joking? That's what they told us.
Yeah.
God blessed us with these good jobs to get y'all these nice gifts, to get you what you want.
They spread the credit around. All right. Mom and dad did some. Santa did some. Jesus did some.
But I'm saying, what I'm saying, as far as
the best gifts were always from mom and dad. By the way,
I'm saying, but for the introduction, I was definitely indoctrinated, whatever you want to call it. Like I was born into this. You know what I'm saying? Like this was so. Like when I became an adult, I had to really evaluate. Like, yo, am I doing this just because this is how I was raised? Because what if I had these same parents, but they was Muslim or they were, saying, Catholic, anything like that? Like what I have stuck with that. So like for me, I am now at the point that like I am where I am when it comes down to my relationship with Christ because of what I established. This ain't got nothing to do with upbringing in the sense of that being the only reason. It does have something to do with upbringing because of it is part of my upbringing. So anything I went through is a part of me. But I went out and did my own thing to be able to find the realness of God, for lack of a better term, as opposed to going through the traditions of religion of what I've seen be done before me and look up to these people and feel like it's the right thing. Because that's what you do. I mean, you look up to people in church, you feel like, okay, if I preach, I'm gonna preach like him. If I pray, I'm gonna pray like him. If I sing, I'm gonna sing like her. I used to live in the hood when I was in high school, when I was in Tampa. It was dope boys who I used to look up to. I ain't never sell dope, but I used to like, well, if I ever did, I want to be like him, or I want to, you know what I'm saying? Because you look at the swag of whoever you're looking up to in your bubble. And when you grow up in church, like that's what you kind of get. And when I stepped away from all of that and established my own, I can't tell you what's right, wrong, and different as far as specifically in the Bible, what's a contradiction. I can't break down every bits and piece, but I can definitely tell you that God is real. 100%. And that ain't forcing Christianity on nobody. I'm just letting you know, whatever you want to call it, higher entity, energy, vibes, all these, terms we got. I'm just letting you know, there's definitely something it's higher than me that what I call God, because my life would not be where it currently is if it was solely up to Rudy Wilson's decision making. Because I have fucked up a lot.
Well, but see, it's funny you mentioned the whole Muslim thing, because that seems to be where a lot of people who were indoctrinated go to. That's one of the first questions you ask is, wait a second, am I believing all this just because I was taught to, or am I believing it because I want to? And everybody always thinks the same question, which is, well, what if I was born in Iraq? Probably wouldn't be Christian like this, you know?
probably-
And I
yeah.
think that's a big chink in the armor. I think a lot of people stumble over that block.
That's real.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a simple twist of fate. You won the sperm lottery and you're born in America. So, you know, it's a difficult question to answer. And I've never gotten an answer in 40 years.
I've even asked the question off. This is a little bit off topic, but to something that you're saying, I've even thought about that. Like, what if somebody is born in another country like that just say their religion or whatever is something totally different than Christianity, and just say according to Christian standards or bylaws, whatever you want to call it, like in order for you to go to heaven, this is what you do, right? So what if somebody over there never gets that introduction and, you know what I'm saying, get their head blown off or something like that because it's battle going on? Like, do they, you know what I'm saying? Are they just assed out? You know what I'm saying?
The Bible covers this. There is a verse that says that the Bible will be so great that there will not be a place on earth where a man cannot hear its words.
But this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying if their life gets cut short, even as a kid, before they understand. I'm talking about not even as like a baby. I'm saying it could be 16, 17, anything. But if you over there fighting from the day that you born, I'm just saying I don't see how that. I mean, and I ain't knocking the Bible. I'm just saying I don't see how it's a fair analysis. It's one thing for me to grow up in church and accept it. It's another thing for you to hear it once while ducking. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying, but you're kind of poking holes in religion right now, and I don't really feel like you know it.
I'm not poking holes because I'm not making a statement.
Well, it is kind of a big hole, you know, the big three.
But I'm not saying anything definitively is what I'm saying. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of just throwing out like thoughts that I have thought before is what I'm, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not
well,
saying
it's funny that
is.
Most people who get indoctrinated into Christianity face this problem. But it's not such a big problem in a lot of other religions. And I'm just wondering why that is. Because it's not, I've known very few Jewish people that just, you know, get to be a certain age and then go, you know what? I don't know about all this Judaism. Like they stick with it. You know, Muslims, pretty hardcore about sticking with it. I don't know if you know that. And even Catholicism, same thing. I mean, they're all kind of self-loathing and non-practicing for the most part, but still they stick with it. So what is it about evangelical Christianity that kind of has no pushback on that?
I'm not going to claim to know a million Jews, but the few I do know, definitely only claim it financially.
Financially,
you
mean culturally? They're just.
I'm saying, but specifically dealing with finances is what I'm saying. Like that's when they bring it up, and I'm not even joking. Like, but when it comes down to
you realize that's an ethnic slur, right?
I'm not making a slur. I'm telling you, people who I know personally.
I know. You can't say Jews are good with money. That's just it's not cool.
Okay, so I'm repeat myself.
Okay, go ahead.
Jews are good with money never came out of my mouth. I said that the few Jewish people who I know, anytime they bring it up, them being Jewish, is when it comes down to dealing with finances. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna go with I've got some friends that are just culturally Jewish and not necessarily religion and practicing is what they would call it.
Right. That's the same
I have
thing.
some non-practicing Jewish friends, but then you would say culturally Jewish. You know?
But I'm saying, but it's not. But I know the culture of being Jewish is bigger than just finances. So but what I'm saying is they're not acknowledging that whole culture. They're only acknowledging the one part. That's the whole point that I'm making.
Oh, still sounds bad, man.
I don't care what you think it sounds like. What I'm telling you is that they're not acknowledging all of the culture, and they're definitely not acknowledging the religion of it. That's my whole point.
Hey, Kellie,
and I'm not saying that's all Jew. That's why I said I don't know a lot, but I'm just saying the few that I know, that's how they like. Anytime I've been in conversation with them, if that conversation comes up, that's when that whole thing becomes a thing.
Kellie,
every time
he keeps digging this hole, and I keep handing him a ladder, and he's like, "I don't need your stupid ladder." You know what I mean? let's just move off this subject before we get canceled.
Well, I'll say this: most of my friends grew up as Christians. Like I said, I have a good number of friends that I met in the church. And I feel like most of us have stuck with it. Now, within it, we have found, our own spiritual beliefs. We have all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, and have our own experiences like Rudy to know that God is real. But in my experience, most of the kids that were brainwashed, indoctrinated into Christianity at this point still practice Christianity. Like they haven't changed to, like you said, Catholicism or being a Muslim or anything like that.
No, usually you don't switch. I mean, it's very rare to switch religions, but just to walk away from religion in general is a lot more common.
So, and I wouldn't say they walked away, but but to that point, I've definitely seen people, of course, shift their own beliefs and ideals as it related to religion and Christianity as they got older.
Stray from the flock, but not join another one.
Right. Yeah. And and they still may very much, attend church every Sunday and, whatever. But I have some friends that I feel like the way they live their lives is completely different than kind of how we were taught to, growing up. And so that is interesting to see. But for the most part, like I said, they definitely haven't changed religions. They've just kind of found, they're good with the Lord knows my heart. So they do whatever they want to do, and the Lord knows my heart, and then I can keep doing whatever I want to do.
I know. Hey, listen, I know people that are a lot more spiritual and a lot more Christ-like that never go to church than some people that go to church every Sunday.
True.
So that's why I said in the beginning of this, there's a difference between religion and spirituality.
But I mean, I know some people who don't go to church who are way less Christ-like than people who do go to church.
I know that too.
So, I mean, it goes both ways.
I know those too. Yeah. No, it goes. Yeah. I'm not. So
because it's not because I mean,
there's no rule on it.
No. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm just saying I'm almost even saying that in agreement, even just to say like people who go to church, some do it because of practice. Some do it because maybe they feel lost. They just got out of jail. Anything. You know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes you just kind of just looking for some type of foundation. And even I'm not gonna say people do it a lot, but I know definitely in the Black community, if there is a switching of a religion, people definitely go from Christianity to, when I say Muslim, meaning like the Nation of Islam, Muslim. And
that's what I was going to say. What happens when you inevitably go to jail and you convert to Islam? Then what?
Yeah, I don't know that. That's not my story, so I can't. I don't know. I don't
Rudy,
know.
In the amount of time that I have known you, jail is in the future somewhere, whether it be for a short amount of time or a long amount of time. You're going to smoke a blunt in the wrong place, and you're going to end up in county for 2 weeks. That's what I figure is going to happen.
2 weeks.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to burst your bubble, I've already been in jail.
Have you?
Yeah, and it was a way shorter, and it was a way shorter time than you ever been, because it was only 6 hours.
I have never been to jail.
Terry, you definitely been in jail.
Terry?
No, I get away with everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I didn't want to say it myself. Thank you. Go for it. There it is.
I know, and that's why I'm taking advantage of it while I've got it. So, it's not gonna last forever.
I went to jail, but I didn't necessarily go in jail. I never went inside a cell. I pretty much got brought in. Well, I got taken to the hospital first to get stitched up on my hands.
Oh, you got a fight?
No. Oh. I walked in on my girlfriend at the time in bed with another dude, and then she attacked me with a hammer.
Oh.
Yeah. So then she called the cops.
Unexpected.
But then she called the cops.
You go to jail.
Because she called the cops and said that I broke into her house and tried to steal the dog. You
definitely tried to steal that dog. There's no way that didn't happen. She didn't just make that up. you were like, oh, you gonna fuck, Rakeem? I'm taking the dog, and that's
it wasn't
how that
Rakeem.
well, for one, Rakeem that's definitely racist.
Name.
No, the dog belonged to me. It, like you said, but so it wasn't so much me stealing it, but the dog was definitely at her house at the time.
I told you that happened.
But I'm saying, I never even like left. Like I was literally there. So so when the police showed up, they didn't even like they showed up in a panic, and then when they seen me just standing there holding the dog and my hands was bloody, like they I'm telling you, like this was the most relaxed arrest you would have probably ever seen in your life. Like this dude literally apologized to me before he arrested me. And I'm not even joking. Like he was just like,
So why only 6 hours then? They just let you go?
Because that's how long it took for me to get. I had to go to the hospital to get stitched up. They took me in, sat me by the deputy desk, and by the time they processed me in, they processed me right back out. And I got there about midnight. And I left around 6 a.m.
So don't leave us hanging. How did it end?
Did she have to go to jail? Give us all the details now, right?
If she would have had to go to jail, I would have been brought that up a long time ago.
So what did they think happened to your hands?
Right.
They found out what happened, but the thing about it is the police, no matter what, because they're not the court system. So no matter what the truth is,
right,
they have to go by a woman called and said, this man, by this description, this person broke into my house.
Right.
And so, and now the way that I even got into the house, because like I showed up like after a comedy show, whatever like that. And this wasn't like wee hours. You talking about this 8:30, 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? This ain't even nothing crazy like that. Maybe even 10, I would probably say. 10 at the latest. I show up, but the door just happened to be unlocked. I like knock, but like I ain't get no answer. So I kind of just like twist on the door, just for whatever. But this is the one time the door is unlocked, so I just walk in. You know what I'm saying? But this is my girlfriend. I don't walk to her house before. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of holes in this story, but go ahead.
I'm saying how?
I think you had a suspicion. You were like, I'm gonna catch this bitch cheating on me right now.
I'm saying obviously I came for a reason, but I'm saying me getting inside the house, I'm saying I didn't break in. Like I didn't pick the lock. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like because if the door was locked, I would have just left. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't have. I'm not no kicking down the door or whatever. Like the door would have been locked, I would have just left. But the door just happened to be unlocked. You know what I'm saying? So I just walked in.
So you walked in, keep going.
So wait, did you?
I walked in and I walked into her room, and then when I cut on the light, they was in bed. They was naked, but they was asleep though. They was already finished.
So wait, so you got arrested, you got processed, then you got processed.
Wait, you going too far in the story. We're not there yet,
I
Terry.
want to know the end.
Right, we're not there yet. We're going back to the beginning.
Nothing happened, Terry. The charges got dropped. I mean, it's nothing.
There we go.
Like,
thank you. That's all I want.
Nothing happened.
Let's get to the juicy part. So you walk in, they sleep. You say what? You turn on the lights. You say, "What's going on?"
Whatever I said. I mean, I was pretty calm. I was pretty calm. I mean, because this even ties back into the topic. You know what I'm saying? This is all based off of how Christianity was introduced to me. You know what I'm saying? And the way
what?
Oh yeah. And the way
Christianity was introduced to you?
Yeah.
All right.
It taught me.
And yea, I say unto thee, don't fuck one of my friends. Got it.
No, I didn't. It wasn't my friend. It wasn't. It was just some dude. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, I didn't like panic. You know what I'm saying? Like I basically was just like, man, I'm sure I said something to the degree of like I already knew whatever, but I wasn't in there like cussing and screaming. She got mad.
Were like, what would Jesus do?
No, I can't say I was there to say think about what would he do. I think I was just more or less thinking about how my mom would feel based off how she raised me if I react in a different way than what she would expect right now. Because yes, I'm hurt. Yes, this sucks.
Yeah.
But also, even another lesson my dad taught me to not make a life-changing decision based off of how you feel at that moment. And so that's all of that hit me all at one time.
Right. And you did the right thing. You stole the dog.
No. So I'm
taking my dog. That's what you said.
But this is what happened. So I for her birthday, I had bought her like a ring. Like I had bought her like a fairly like expensive ring, like as a gift, not an engagement ring,
a promise ring,
not even a promise ring, just a gift. It wasn't like a wedding band type of. It just was a
Was this like a Pimp Daddy like pinky ring? Yeah.
Okay. So the point is like basically like and I had bought the dog, and of course, like, you know, we was kind of like gonna share it back and forth, whatever, but the dog literally was like my actual pet, like this, you know what I'm saying? And so being the fact the dog just happened to be at our house, I'm just like, well, obviously I'm never finna see this bitch again, you know what I'm saying? So obviously I need to get this dog.
Wait, do you mean the girl or the dog?
If I'm getting the dog, who you think I'm talking about?
I know,
So,
but you said the bitch, that could be either. So.
If I'm getting the dog, Terry, do the math. Okay.
It's not nice to call
comedian. It's a joke.
Go ahead.
I understand that, but what I'm telling you is that the joke didn't work because we're only talking about one bitch in this specific instance. Okay.
the young lady, the woman.
Oh no! If she was a young lady,
if
she was a young lady, I would have said
she's
that.
a bitch at least. I might go see word.
At least.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
She is the worst one.
Yeah. So, you can't do that. No.
So, but anyway, so basically, like after I grabbed the dog, like she basically so first she attacks me with a knife.
Wait, hang on, just pause real quick. This is just a woman's privilege here, because now we're talking to Kellie, and Kellie's like, she's like, so you walked in, you turned the light on, you caught her in bed with another man naked, and you were polite, right? You were polite and like a gentleman, right? Yeah, because every woman that catches her man with another woman.
Name.
Yeah.
Hi, Kia.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on?
Sure.
How are you doing today?
Sure.
Yeah, she's named after my car.
This fine gentleman that is laying beside you without
maybe I've just dated too many Hispanic chicks, but I don't see it playing out like that. Okay?
Yeah, no, I definitely. But see, like I said, for me,
he attacked you with a knife. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, but
wait. But I still miss that it's sleep and you walk in. They wake up because they hear you. Do you turn on the lights? Do you tap them on the shoulder?
I already said I turned on the lights, Kellie.
Okay, you turn on the lights. They woke up when you turned on the lights.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Kellie,
not everybody wakes up when you turn on the lights.
You think it's a movie? You think I had to come in, pull off the covers? Hey, bitch! It wasn't that deep. Literally, hit the lights. Fire. By the time I cut on the lights, what the fuck? They naked. They pulling up the covers and trying to cover themselves up. I'm like, look at this bitch here. So anyway,
she just attacks you with a knife out of nowhere after that?
Because she that type, you know what I'm saying? People get mad, they try to beat you to get madder type, you know what I'm saying? Turn the tables.
Why is she mad?
She's a bitch. She's crazy. But
I think there's another side.
But you seem like you like them crazy ones.
Well, you mean, you know what they say about crazy women?
What do they say about crazy women?
Okay, we'll get.
Here's what I think. I think she really loved the dog. I think you were her.
Oh no!
And you were like, oh yeah, you're just gonna step on me. Guess what? You never see him Rover again. I'm taking him. You know?
No. Number one, I'm glad I actually left her with that dog because that dog became very expensive after a while, and she had to pay for it. Number two.
That is horrifying. You're basically saying it's a good thing that dog got sick. So
no, I didn't say it gets sick. I didn't say it got sick. I said it got
expensive.
Well, just because I'm saying just to take care of in general. Like a dog is expensive, is what I'm saying. Like the older it gets, it eats more, it needs more attention, it needs more stuff. So I'm just saying a dog is expensive. And for me, this was the time I'm getting out of the army. I'm starting to do a lot of moving. She's stable. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't have no dog in a hopping around in the Kia.
I don't think I want to date you or be your pet at this point.
Well, I'm not interested in white men, so I mean, you're fine.
Thank God.
So, anyways,
because I don't think this story ended well for anybody. To be honest,
if I'm
maybe
sitting right here, she's sitting where she is. The dog is where. That's about it. Everybody's fine.
Is the dog still alive? Dog still kicking?
Yeah, like everybody's fine. Everybody's alive. Everybody's well. Nobody has COVID.
Is she still? How you know?
Yeah. How do you know that dog might have COVID?
Man, that dog don't got COVID, man.
It might.
That dog is a hybrid.
With the dude she cheated on you with?
I'm sure she's not. I mean, she done had a baby by another dude. You know what I'm saying? She done moved on.
Maybe you dodged a bullet.
All right, ladies, you hear what type of women Rudy like?
Yep.
Well, I mean, crazy
and loves dogs.
Well, no. The principle about the dog. The principle about the dog was that I bought the dog, and it cost me money. So like that was the principle about that. If she would have paid for that dog, I would have.
It cost you less money.
If she say it again.
But by leaving the dog there, it cost you less money. You just
right. But I'm saying that's in hindsight, though. But I'm saying the dog was a puppy. Like we had the dog was fairly new. Like we ain't talking about a big ass dog. We're talking about a puppy. Like
this is principle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I think you just proved my point. You definitely took that dog and been like, you didn't even see this dog.
No. But it had nothing. It had nothing to do with trying to hurt her. I just knew that I wasn't.
It's the same thing
back.
women do when men cheat, but they do it with the kids instead.
I'm saying I knew I wasn't coming back. That's what I'm saying.
She didn't come back. So
she wasn't that attached to that dog where me taking that dog would hurt her. It just was about me. If I left without the dog, I got to now come back and get the dog. I don't want to come back. I want to.
You got arrested, so you had to leave the dog, and you still didn't come back to get your dog.
Her complaint was that you were stealing the dog. That's what her.
No, she just added that on.
No, okay.
Because I was right outside with the dog. I never left because when she came outside, she basically like was standing next to my car like with the hammer, like basically threatening to like bash my windows. So I immediately started recording her, and I was like, "You can hit my windows all you want to, but your ass definitely going to jail. Like I don't give a fuck. Like the moment that hammer touched my car, you going to hell and jail at the same time. I promise."
How long ago was this, Rudy? I feel like now
like
recording this was like 6 months ago.
2016 or something like that.
Oh.
But
not that long ago.
We was recording back then. Okay.
But how old you think cell phone is? Like
what? 5 years ago.
What kind of phone did we have back then that was recording?
An iPhone 5.
Like
5 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
That seems so long ago.
Actually, it was an iPhone 6. We're on to 11 now.
Yeah, no. So, but basically,
we haven't talked about Jesus, religion, pastors, or kids for quite some time.
Well, no, I'm telling you, but I got into this story because of this. I told you I handled this based off of how I was raised. Now, and I did end up like getting arrested, but like when I tell you, because I don't know if you remember, Kelly, I put this in my set. Like I got arrested by like a young black dude, and literally while I was in the backseat of his car, this man turned around and asked me, did he mind if he played his music while he took me to jail? And this nigga just started banging hip hop like all in his cop car while I'm sitting in the back seat in handcuffs on my way to jail. I will never forget that. I'm talking about literally when I went to the hospital, he wasn't even holding me. Like my handcuffs was in the front and we were just walking next to each other, just talking. Because this is how much he knew. Like I wasn't finna try to run. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. We telling the nurse the story. They like, why didn't she get arrested? Like, why are you the only person in handcuffs? This was my whole night. So like for me, yes, I went to jail, but like it didn't even feel like it. Like I literally walked.
I'll tell you why she didn't get arrested. But
I walked past people who were in cells, and I'm just looking at them piled up on top of each other's sleep, and I'm just walking to the deputy desk, just sitting there, waiting to be released.
This is how you know there's the Lord. There is a God.
But what I'm saying is, imagine. This is my final point. Imagine if I would have handled it the opposite way of how I was introduced to what I was introduced to. Because if I would have handled it, if I would have been hostile, if I would have attacked, if I would have been like, oh man, fuck this nigga, fuck this nigga. If I would have did all that, I would have been in jail for a different reason. I would have had charges. You know what I'm saying? They would have treated me differently. Oh, he broke in and beat our ass. You know what I'm saying? It's and I didn't even know she called and said I broke in until after I was arrested. I didn't know this was even a thing. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't even know the police was coming until they showed up. You feel what I'm saying? Like this is like an hour and a half, 2 hours into this whole scenario even happening. So for me, what I'm saying is like when I look hindsight, that upbringing practically probably even saved my life. This is 2016. This is during the time niggas is getting shot. You know what I'm saying? Like they wouldn't have looked at me any differently if I was out there wilding, but my whatever kept them calm to the point where they didn't even treat me like a, you know.
You could have had both.
A felon.
You could have had your cake and eaten it too. I come home and I find my woman in bed with another man. He catching hands. You know what I'm saying? He is. And then when the cops get there, I'll put on my best banker face and I'll be like, I don't know what's happening, officer. Like I come home to all this craziness, you know, like I can bring it right back down again.
Yeah, you're also white.
Right,
white privilege.
You're also white.
Black men do not have that privilege.
Yeah, you're
I'm loving it.
But thank you, Rudy. You didn't preach that word on this Wednesday night Bible study tonight.
I could have been done, but Terry he didn't want to hear the story. He just kept interrupting. When are we getting back to the? You just wanted the dog.
Trying to keep this thing entertaining, because basically now it's just a testimonial about Rudy's previous relationship. Which don't get me wrong, I'm loving it. Right.
Well, let's talk about how you wanted to be duped into going to church. Let's go back to that. Let's talk about how they had to trick Terry with pizza and fun just for him to serve the Lord.
I think. Well, what were you talking about?
He is the worst one.
You were talking about step groups and basketball. What were you?
Oh
talking
yeah,
about?
we was lit, man.
Yeah, you was dope. You was duped too.
No.
What do you mean? No, you were just duped with different things.
You ain't, man, it was people who didn't even go to the church played on our team.
What I'm saying is like the kids.
We were trying to win here.
Well, the kids would always go to Sunday school, right? But Sunday school
was lit.
Yeah, Sunday school for the kids. They do plays and shows and musical acts and games and throw candy out and all that. Of course, you're going to enjoy it as a kid, but even that gets tiresome, or at least it did for me, because I'm like, I know what you're doing here.
But that's just
I can't be bought.
But that's just like saying you're not going to watch Barney forever. Like, of course, you're going to watch it at a certain age, and then when you get older, you're going to need something else. I get it. But what I'm saying is, but as a kid don't need what the adults getting.
Right.
That's you dead from the jump. If you trying to feed me, you know what I'm saying? Them praises go up, blessings come down. I don't want to get
but see, evangelicals in this country, evangelicals don't have the steadfast numbers that say like Catholicism does, right? And Catholicism doesn't do anything. There's no Sunday school at Catholicism. You know what I mean? Like there is, but it's very muted. There's none of that. I've been to those churches. I've been to the mass services. Kids are treated just like the adults, and they tend to stay in their religions longer at mass. That's just what I'm saying. There's a reason why there's no Vatican City for evangelicals.
Well, I mean, I don't. When you use the word evangelical, like I feel like I know what you mean.
American Christian.
I just don't feel like that's. But I don't feel like that was my experience, though. That's what I'm saying. Like I didn't really. Like, and I'm telling you, like, I went to church with like known thugs and drug dealers, like,
sure,
and people knew it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they were members. Like, it wasn't and I'm not saying they were like known in the sense of like around the city known. I'm saying us at the church.
Yeah, you all knew
what they were doing. But I'm saying, but it was never, hey, you can't show up, or hey, you can't wear them pants. Like my church was never a brainwashed to that degree. You feel what I'm saying? Like it was literally like, yes, you know what I'm saying? You like they probably promoted just say prayer and the blood of Jesus more than they probably did therapy back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But there was not necessarily like strict bam, 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 bam when it came down to my particular upbringing. I'm not speaking for all church. I'm just saying me specifically.
Well, I wasn't saying anything about it being strict. I remember the maddest my father ever got one day at somebody was when I was younger. I was wearing a hat because my hair was all messed up from just wearing it all day, and I tried to go into one of these youth services, and the guy at the door told me, "Hey, you got to take the hat off. You're in church." And I was like, no, I can't, though. It's all messed up. And he's like, take the hat off. And I was like, no, I'll just wait outside. And he goes, no, stay in here. Take the hat off. And I was like, yes, sir. And I took the hat off. And my hair is all jacked up and messed up and looked. And I sat there for 40 minutes feeling insecure, listening to people snicker around me. And my dad was so furious. He's like, he's trying to come in here and be a part of this. And not only do you not welcome him, but you tell him he can't even leave and he has to do everything your way. He's like, he's going to hate this place. Right. And he's right. I never went back to that church ever.
Right.
Yep. Refused to. It wasn't his church, but it was just one we were visiting. He's like, what are you doing, man? He's like, that's what I'm saying. It has to come from a good place. It can't be just, I'll give you candy if you come here. It can't be just like, come here to play with you basketball, play basketball with your friends and whatnot. The main part that I liked that Rudy made was that nobody was excluded for whatever reason. You want to sag your pants in service? Fine, as long as you're here. You want to be a gangster when you're not here? Fine, as long as you're here. I like that. I like as long as you're here.
I mean, and it was even to the point where some of them got involved. Like I know people who was known for like fighting and all that, getting suspended from school. But they literally sung like on the youth praise team. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like they be a junior deacon. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about and want to do it, not just because they parents making them. You know what I'm saying? Like want to do it. Like when they at church, like they They do
But
church.
that goes back to the story I told you, where if you give them the choice to stay home or go, sometimes that's important because you have to make them want to do it. That was what my story was based on. You're allowing them the choice, and a lot of times they'll make the right choice if you give it to them. But if you just ram it down their throat constantly and enforce everything, you're going to have the opposite effect. But that's just my opinion.
Tracking. Kellie, you got anything else? All right. Well, you know what time it is.
Oh, yeah.
Let them know where they can find us.
So on Instagram, the worst ones PK. The worst ones PK. As far as how to listen to us, YouTube, Spotify. I listen on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, excuse me. You can find us at the Worst Ones Podcast. Of course, when you find us, when you listen, when you enjoy, when you indulge, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Very
and
good.
You can find me at Terry
All
Wayne
right.
Comedy on all social media platforms. If you want to come and argue religion with me, I'd be more than happy to. You know, if you get some, if you don't like some of the stuff I said, or if you like some of the stuff I said, come talk to me. I'm around.
Big facts. Shout out Janessa in her absence. Happy birthday to her nephew, I believe, and congratulations to whatever wedding she went to.
I give it a year.
Yeah. She's had a busy celebratory-tative
Cinco de Mayo.
Right. It's been a hell of a holiday for her. But at Melanated Brews is her IG. Beer and tea and coffee.
That's right.
I guess made by melanated people. I'm assuming that's where the melanated come from, because I don't think it's only for black people to drink. So I don't think she would be that tough with it.
If I come up there, she's like, you can't have none of this.
Right.
Sorry, white boy, you took enough.
Okay. Yeah. So that's Janessa. And man, yeah, most importantly, like Kellie Lee said, the worst ones, PK. The worst ones, PK. You can watch us on YouTube. I changed that channel officially to the Worst Ones Podcast. So you should better type in that and find either the channel and or any of the videos. We are on episode 24.
And you can also listen on Spotify.
Yes.
Can I?
I didn't think. I thought you were wrapping it up. I thought you forgot.
I am, but that's part of my wrap up. But can I?
Right. Sorry.
Okay. So like I said, so we're on YouTube, episode 24. We popping out here in these streets. And like Terry Wayne said, definitely you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and pretty much any site or app that has podcasts, except for iHeartRadio. Do not look on iHeartRadio, because that's a totally different company, and we ain't gonna be on them. So you gotta be careful.
We gotta get out of here. Kelly's falling asleep. Do you see that? I saw that. She
was yawning 60 minutes ago. But nonetheless, please like, subscribe. If you are a PK out there and you would like to be a guest, hit us up. At the Worst Ones PK, we'll bring you on. Till then, we out, bitches. Put your twos up.
I got my twos up.
For Janessa to cuss you out when she watches next week.
The twos.